Hey everybody, Angel Moraes here, the DJ producer. But we're not here today for those reasons. We're here today for some more food. Today's recipe is something I like to call arroz al diablo, which means the devil's rice. And it's because it's a bit spicy, and it's something I created based on my experiences going to Chinese restaurants out of all places. You know, being from Brooklyn, we frequent Chinese restaurants a lot. The two most popular foods in New York are probably Chinese and pizza, or Italian. Anyway, so in my neighborhood alone, there's probably 4 or 5 Chinese restaurants in an 8-block radius. So when I go to get food, I would always observe the way they cook, their technique, their tools, and I really loved it, you know, because it's very sauteed, you know, flash fried or flash sauteed or whatever. And I always said to myself, what if I applied that to my food, you know, at least some of the things that I do. And I came up with this rice, and I chose it also because a really good friend of mine from Chicago, a very well-known producer named Ralphie Rosario, he first had this rice with me in Montreal and he went crazy. So I said to myself, you know what, I'm gonna do that and Ralphie's gonna love it because now everybody has the recipe and he'll probably make it tomorrow. So Ralphie, this one's for you. So welcome back. Like I said, today's recipe is arroz al diablo, which is a devil's rice, something I created. And the ingredients basically are, this is cube chicken that I prepared before. Some shrimp, because you can make this with either chicken, shrimp, pork, like anything you want. It's very simple, it's very cheap, very efficient, very quick, which is good. You know, if you don't have too much time, you get home and you can just stir fry some rice. And the cool thing about it is that, like, one of the reasons this came about is because I always wondered what to do with white rice the next day or 2 or 3 days later. So now whatever rice you don't use on the night, you can save it and it holds in the fridge for about a week. So when you come home, if you got these simple ingredients, you can just stir fry some really nice Puerto Rican style fried rice, so to speak. So we have shrimp, we have onion, we have cumin, we have crushed chili, we have the sofrito, which I taught you how to make in the first video. We have salt, sazon, and then here I've made like a mixture of fresh tomato, you know, 1 tomato, 2 cloves of garlic, and 2 tablespoons of beer. But I'm not going to use it all, but you'll see the amounts like when I start doing the rice. And we have some oil, okay? And those are the basic ingredients besides the main ingredient, which is rice. Okay, so here we go. As you can see, I've already put about ½ a teaspoon of the chili in here. So to that, we're gonna add a spoon about this size, right? And the reason why I'm using this much is because I'm making 4 servings, okay? And now we're gonna turn our heat on, and we're gonna add our chicken to that. And we're gonna add about a ¼ cup of the onions, okay? And now we're gonna we're gonna saute that up. And the reason why I didn't start the wok on heat is because it would get too hot. Because if you notice, these woks are very thin material. So you have to be real careful with the temperature. When this gets up to temperature, that's when you really gotta throw everything in very quickly. Anyway, so we're gonna keep doing this. When this starts sizzling and sauteing, we'll come back and continue the process. Okay, so to this I've added a pinch of salt, and I've also added another teaspoon of oil, because I really want to get the flavor in here. And the oil is the flavor. The more unhealthy, the more flavor you got. I'm just kidding. Okay, now I'm gonna do about a teaspoon of cumin, but not a heaping teaspoon, okay? Something like that. Right in there. That's starting to smell amazing. Now for this, I'm gonna add one of these big spoons, but not full, probably like that, like 2/3 of the sofrito. Okay? And when it's sauteing, starting to smell good, guys, huh? Now to this, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons, maybe 3, of that tomato concoction that I mentioned. Now this is gonna go. Wow, that smells amazing. And now we open our rice. And we go in. So say this is a cup and a half of rice. Probably another cup and a quarter. Say 3.5 cups of rice. Okay, 3.5 cups of the white rice. And now you're just gonna keep sauteing. And then you're gonna throw in your sazon. And your sazon is gonna give it a beautiful color. Right? And then you might also wanna throw in like kind of a half a punch of water. So just keep sauteing. Look at that, beautiful, huh? Now, in the winter, you can add more water to this, make it a little soupy, and it's kind of like a paella, but a little more moist. So that's basically it. And you just bring it over here, and that's it. And we're gonna add water to that. We're gonna keep it on here, but at a very low heat, just to loosen this up. And when we come back, we'll make the shrimp version. Okay, so guys, as you can see, because I put the water in here, loosened up the rice in the bottom. And now all we have to do is give it a brush and it's ready to use again. Just like the Chinese do it, okay? And here is the finished rice. And in a little while, we're gonna eat this right now. And in a while, when we finish that, we're gonna come back and make the shrimp version. So now we're gonna make the shrimp version. So as you can see, I kind of cubed the shrimp into like bite-sized pieces. So the way this works is gonna be a little different because shrimp cooks very fast. And that's the trick with shrimp. You know, most people will put it in their rice and just let that go for the duration of the rice. That's a mistake. What you wanna do is flavor the oil with the shrimp and maybe some garlic or whatever. And then once the shrimp is done, you take it out and set it aside and do the rice. Then when that's almost done, then you throw the shrimp back in, toss it for about another minute, and then you serve into the plate. And we're gonna come right back and do that. Okay, so we're ready to go with the shrimp version of arroz al diablo. And this would be called arroz al diablo con camarones. The other one was a chicken. So I'm gonna add a bit more oil because like I said, I'm gonna retire the shrimp from here, but I'm gonna keep the oil. When you're doing this, sometimes some of the stuff tends to go with the shrimp. So what we're doing is we're gonna put 1 clove of garlic. We're gonna crush it into here, like so. And we gotta be really quick because we don't want the garlic to burn, because if the garlic burns, it gets bitter. And we definitely don't want that in our dish. So we're doing that. We're gonna move this around, flavor that oil, okay? Once again, we're gonna put our chili, and this is about half a teaspoon. You know, we gotta be careful with that too, because now you can add more if you want it more spicy. You know, there's some people that really like it spicy, so now we're gonna throw in our shrimp. And what this is basically doing right now is we're gonna cook the shrimp, and at the same time, we're giving like a beautiful flavor, and we're gonna do our onions as well. We're giving a beautiful flavor to that oil. So now we're gonna bring the heat up way high. I'm putting like a 1/4 cup of water aside that I may need later, just to really, really loosen up and moisten that rice the way I want it. So you let this go. We're on high heat now. Now this is not gonna take too long. Well, because it's a big portion, it's probably gonna take about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Oh, this is smelling amazing right now, guys. Okay, so see, this is almost ready to retire from the pot, from the pan. Woo. And that looks really beautiful right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. Probably going to add just a little more oil into this, and that's about 2 tablespoons. Right, and then to this I'm going to add sofrito, and this is about 4. I'm going to bring the heat down, about 4 tablespoons, and we're going to just kind of fry that up a little bit. We're going to get our packet of sazon ready, because this is, as you can see, like I told you, time me, and you can see how easy these dishes actually are. You know, you just do the prep before and have everything at hand. So see, this is the water's almost gone, so now I'm going to put in like 3 or 4 of these, maybe 5 because it's a big portion. And then you're going to fry that up in here too. And we're going to get our rice ready. Now we're going to bring the heat back up. Yeah, and you want to try and scrape the bottom of that pan, because you want to get all that goodness into the flavor of the final dish. So now I'm going to do like before. It's about a cup. 2, 3.5, 4. We can still do another one in here because I got some hungry people here. And you know what? We can even put a little more in there. We have some room. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to throw this back in. The shrimp goes back in. Lower the heat just a little bit so it doesn't stick as much as before. Right? We're going to throw in that 1/4 cup of water, precisely so it doesn't stick. We're going to get our, can you pass me the salt? We're going to throw in our sazon. And we're going to throw in 3 pinches of salt. Okay, maybe 4. And we're going to throw in that cumin again, and it's about a teaspoon, but not a heaping teaspoon, remember. And we're going to keep tossing this. So my director and camerawoman, she's actually salivating, so if it's a little blurry, there you go. Got another beautiful fried rice. If anybody, like any of you out there who haven't thought about this, I'm sure this is going to be a revelation to you, and it's going to help you so much to make a really good rice now. Because you don't have to do the whole thing in that pot, which is traditional. You can just saute rice. Alright? So when we come back, we're going to serve. So here's the rice we just made. Yeah, so it's nice and loose. Put it in a serving plate, and there you go. Now you can garnish this with some coriander, you can put some lemon wedges around it, which is very nice as well. This serves about 5 people or 3 really greedy people. Anyway, so there you have it. I hope you join me the next time. Enjoy this because this is really, really good. See y'all soon.